Hi, this is Miss Cindy. I hope everyone is doing okay today. Well, I'm circling back and I'm going to try to work with this gold leaf. I bought this little kit a little over a year ago. I went to use it for Christmas, and you really have to practice with gold leaf because I was doing Christmas gifts and I ended up not using it at all. So I have it, and I said I'm going to come back and revisit it. Now, I have done it on a pour where it was nice and flat, and it came out pretty good. So I was practicing, I got better. So I wanted to see if I can do some art, like a little art project today using the gold leaf. Only I want to do something different. So anyway, I have a 12 by 12 canvas. I went ahead and made a template of a heart. I have the gold leaf adhesive and the sealer, and I have my fine pumice gel. So what I want to do is I want to trace the heart, which I did, and then I want the gel just on the inside. And then I'm going to use this little comb that I made. I cut off from a big piece of comb, and I've done this on another project, which I have a video of. And I want to go through the gel and make a nice design. Once that dries, then I want to see if the gold leaf will go on that bumpy surface and give me the design from the comb. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. These are the only supplies I really need. So, but there is one thing I'm going to do because I'm trying to think ahead. I do not want the gold leaf to be on the outside of this heart, because in order to get that to stick, I have to use the glue, the gold leaf glue. So I'm going to see the best I can where I can go ahead and tape around the heart. So this way, not only does my gel not go outside of the heart, but then when I come back with that gold leaf glue, it also does not go outside of the heart. So I'll be back once it's taped up and I'm ready to put some gel on. Okay, so I've done the best I could getting the heart, getting some tape around the heart. This also makes it a little bit easier, for me to be comfortable spreading this gel on. So the gel, I do not want heavy. I'm doing it real thin, only because I have a small comb. So, and that comb will pick up a lot of gel. So I just want to show you what I'm doing. All I'm doing is filling in the heart, making it as smooth as possible. Yeah, the tape helps. This way you can go over the tape. It's not too bad. Okay. And I have to do the whole thing. But then when it comes to the comb, just like your comb pour when you're doing, that's all I'm doing. And then wipe it off after each pass through. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and finish all of the heart. And I will let you see what it looks like when I'm finished, and then we're going to let it dry, and then I'm going to go from there. This is an experiment. We don't know if it's going to work. Hopefully it works, but we'll see. I'll be back. Okay. My gel has dried, but what I did was I went around the corners and put a little gel there so that I could do a test instead of going straight to the heart. So if it doesn't work, maybe I can do something else with the heart. So I have my brush. I'm going to go ahead and put a thin coat of the adhesive over this area right here. And I'm going to go in both directions to make sure it gets in between those little swirls. Okay. Now for this adhesive, it states to wait 30 minutes. So I'm going to wait 30 minutes. And then I'm going to come back and see if the gold leaf sticks to it. I see that I went ahead and cut it, which is not easy to do. I just very carefully tried to cut it so that I'm not trying to lift a whole sheet. I will use a whole sheet, a couple of sheets for the heart. But just for this one, I went ahead and cut these in 4 so I can go ahead and do the corners. Anyway, we gotta wait for 30 minutes and then I will come back and see if this works. Okay, it's been 20 minutes and this is not feeling tacky at all. It feels dry. so I'm gonna take a chance and see if I can, if it's dry enough for this. I don't know if it's because it's a small section. And by the way, I put a glove on because when I opened up that container and a little got on my finger, it was tacky immediately. So all I'm doing is just patting it down. We're going to see if maybe I didn't have to wait that long. And maybe because this spot is smaller. I don't know. Let's take a leather piece off of here. And put it over there. And pat it down. There's a little section in there. Unless there's a spot that didn't get glue. Okay, and then I have a soft brush. And it does show up the lines. Okay, it does show up the design. I think that little spot over there, I may have missed it with the glove with glue. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, I did find out something new. I ain't got to wait 30 minutes. And I think the 30 minutes is because maybe if you're doing a bigger spot, but this little spot. Okay, so it does show up the swirls in the gel. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do another spot. Let's see what happens. Okay, well, I did this one over here. And that went on really good. And I do see the swirls. This one I waited 20 minutes to dry. They say 30 minutes, but you're supposed to wait until the adhesive gets tacky. This was dry, so after 20 minutes I put it on. This was dry after 10 minutes, so I put it on. And it worked. So I'm going to go with not the time on the instructions of the bottle, but I'm going to go with if I feel it tacky enough. If it's dry, I don't think that's right. I think I should be doing it when it's tacky. But either way, it seems to be working. The other concern I had about is this tape. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get all of the 4 corners done. And then I'm going to seal it and let it dry before I pull this tape off. Because I don't want to pull the tape off and it pulls up some of the flakes too. So if it's sealed on this side of the tape should not pull it up. Anyway, oh, also, you can use these flakes over because I patched up a couple of places here with the little flakes that I brushed off. So I got a little airtight container that you can save those and use those for another project. So I've seen a lot of people just vacuum it up, you know, when they do big projects. But for these little projects, it can be used again. Anyway, let me finish these other 4 corners. And then, like I said, here's my sealant. Once it dries, I'm going to put the sealant on. And then I'm going to pull up the tape and let's see what happens. If it looks good, if it looks decent, then I'll do the heart. Okay, All four corners has the gold leaf. And my question was answered. Yes, I can gold leaf over gel medium. That's what this project is about. So I wanted to recap before I do the heart. I didn't do the sealant yet. I'm going to do the sealant, let it dry, but while that sealant is on there, I can go ahead and try to do the heart. You've already seen how I put it on, so I'm not going to record that. I'm going to sit down and take my time and try to get that right. But I wanted to recap because somebody stopped by and they saw what I was doing and they asked, how did you get cut around here? Did I use an X-Acto knife to cut the tape? And I said, no, because you don't want to cut into the canvas. So I figured, let me go ahead and tell you some of the things that I do. The first thing is, I don't know if you've seen my videos, but I believe in this frog tape and I believe in parchment paper. You can get the parchment paper real cheap at the dollar store, the Dollar Tree. But anyway, a lot of my projects I do on parchment paper, whether it's glitter, whether it's going to be this gold leaf. I do a lot. Even my pours, I may do on parchment paper. So when the pour runs or when the resin runs, all I got to do is pull up this parchment paper and throw it in the garbage. So to get that heart around there, which I've had trouble before cutting, whether it was cutting wood or cutting paper or cutting whatever, tape, to get that rounded, what I did was here's my template for my heart. I put my template on the parchment paper and I just taped it down and then cut it out. And when you cut it out, the outside of the tape is going to be this part. It's not so easy. It's a long way, but this is a hack for me to get the outside of something that's rounded where I don't want to go over on canvas. So that's one thing. The other thing, I didn't mention the brushes. Doing research on this gold leaf, everybody uses different brushes. They use flat brushes. They use squirrel brushes. They use a whole lot of different brushes. For this project, all I used was my small mop brush, and that was just to take off the extra flakes. And then on this tape part and around the sides, I use this little coarse brush, and that just pulls it up real easy. For me, it pulls it up real easy. And then when everything is off and all of the crap is sitting on my parchment paper, then I go around with my really heavy-duty soft brush and just brush the whole canvas, get everything off of there. So everything is brushed onto my parchment paper, so now I can pull it up just like glitter, put it in the container, or pull it up and dump it in the trash. So those are my tips. I think I covered everything. I found I had to get a glove, and I've seen people with gloves, without gloves. I got gloves because every time I open up that adhesive, a little bit gets on my hand. So when I'm patting down, it's pulling up. So yes, I recommend having a glove handy. I still like working with my bare hands. So I will be back once we do the heart. I'm going to do the sealant now, and that's just seal that because I'm afraid to take off that tape. And then after it's dry and I can pull off one of those tapes and see it's okay, then I'm going to go ahead and do the heart. So I will be back. Well, I'm back. I pulled all my tape off carefully, and it worked. The heart I was real pleased with. I'm going to try to see if I can angle this in a way where you could see the swirls from the gel medium. So that pretty much ends this video. My question was answered. Yes, you can do gold leafing over gel medium. It's not all that easy, but it can be done. You just have to take your time. And I will be doing this in the future because I like the end result. So this canvas is pretty much finished. I just got to take my time and carefully paint in the background. And I think I'm going to paint it in black. I just haven't decided if I'm going to do a black metallic or a flat black. Either way, it will be painted, and the end picture will be in my title when I post this video. So, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like the content. And keep coming back, because I'll be doing more projects.